Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode, I guess this would be episode 15. Not quite sure what it was, you guys. I actually enjoyed the episode. It was funny. It made me laugh out loud a couple of times. What was with the niggerific rap music every time they went into a segment? I was just like, what is this? And it sounded like it was created for the show. Like, was it a real rap artist and a real, like, rap song? I was just like, no, this is going to be a no on this one, Bravo. Do you guys play that for the white shows, too? For the white Real Housewives? I mean, it was just, child, it was spectacularly niggerific. But anyway, I hope you guys don't happen to know who that artist is, because I was just like not feeling it. I mean, it was so. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, you guys. As you guys see, it's raining again. Sick of this fucking rain. I'm so over it. It has rained so much. I don't think it's ever rained this much since I've been here. It's just been terrible. But anyway, you guys, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. First, the show opens with Eva. She is on bed rest now. She didn't have the baby, it seems, last week. I said, I'm always gonna have to call Andy a bitch like I do Mona. I was just like, you guys really did trick us last week. Y'all know that child ain't winning no damn labor. She up here laying on her couch at the house eating ice. You guys do know that ice has salt in it. My friend Simone is addicted to that ice, and the doctor told her that not only does that eating ice all the time dilute your blood, but it also has salt in there, and it can affect you that way as well. Did you guys know that? I guess salt is one of the, the agents that they put in there to make sure that it stays fresh or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so you guys that's chewing that ice, plus it's not good for your teeth. Y'all have to know that. But girl, my friend Simone, she will go to the racetrack and just get the ice. She loves that little cubed crushed ice or whatever. It's not crushed, but it's cubed, the little tiny little, y'all know which one's the pellets. Anyway, she's laying on the couch. She's on bed rest, but that's okay because hubby Mike has it all under control. Okay, getting the babies dressed and everything. So don't you worry. We see Cynthia, and she's reading #Chill's biography. You guys know he has a book about his life coming out called Open Mike. Okay, and I was like, are you sure that's what you want to do? But he's left it there for her, obviously, so he wants her to have a little once over. So while she's reading, he comes in, and she starts to tell him about her concerns about him putting it all out there. I said, oh, okay, now it's starting to make more sense. I still don't know if I would have done it, but I think now I am realizing that this is their way of tackling the rumors or his whole-like ways from the past ahead of time. Okay, she ain't gonna leave it up to you guys to find out that he used to be a hoe in the past. She gonna put it out there ahead of the wedding, so by the time we get to this wedding, we done worked all past through all of that. Okay, yeah, so this is getting ahead of the story, and I guess I can appreciate that. It's just that I guess it was going to happen one way or the other, so I guess they're getting it out the way now. But it still is a negative, like a little bit of a negative, but I guess they feel like they can control the narrative a little bit better if they're the ones that's explaining it. So anyway, he comes in, she's telling him about his concerns. He was just sort of like, I just need you to understand where I come from. Everybody has a past, which is true. Okay, he says, you did some things, I did some things. People be trying to put it on you when they did some shit. She was like, I've never cheated. I'm not a cheater, and I don't plan to. He says, well, you always have the choice. Well, everybody has a choice, and her choices forever will be, I'm not doing that. Okay. I guess it's cool. If he has definitely stopped his cheating ways and, has decided that he's in love with Cynthia and that he's ready to make a go of it and be an honest, man, I believe that you can do that. I always believe that cheating is a choice, but she just feels like maybe this is something that they need to go and speak to a counselor about. Well, you definitely should be having premarital counseling anyway, because You know, when you get married, you got this whole dream-like way of thinking in your mind, and there's so many things that come up as you're married that you guys don't have nothing in common. You don't think the same on an issue, and it could be a big issue at all. So, you know, premarital counseling is something that kind of helps you through those things, you know, ahead of time, so you can just kind of know what's what. And then, of course, she keeps on saying, we need to know how to argue, which I know is what Michelle Obama said. And then he said, oh, now that Michelle Obama said it, you know, now you want to know how to do it. Okay. But when people say they need to know how to argue, you just need to know how to get your point across, however strenuously that you need to. But then I guess you need to also be open to maybe listening to what the other person say. You don't necessarily have to agree with them. It might be some shit we will never agree on, okay? But we can get through this argument, and it don't mean the end of the fucking world. That don't mean for you to go out and cheat, or that don't mean for you to go out and take all the money out the account and say that it's over and be like, oh, forget it and all, you know. So many of us have been in relationships where people is just like that doomsday. It's just like, if it's not perfect, then it's just the end of the world, you know. So anyway, that's her concern. He says that he'd be open to doing it, I guess. So, you know, it's kind of a funky little end to his visit, because he's visiting Atlanta. He's on his way back to LA that day. So she's like, I got to take you to the airport, you know. She's just a little bit of a bummer on the end there. Now, we jump over to Candy, and we see Candy. She's eating her food, and she's reading her messages. Evidently, there's an event coming up, a kickball event. Everybody is texting her back to let her know whether or not they're coming. Eva's coming, of course, but she can't play. Okay, she's on bed rest, you guys, but she's coming to the kickball event. I said, Andy, bitch, you really did try this week. So she's bringing somebody that's gonna play in her place. Nene says that she doesn't even have, you know, a free 7 minutes to even spare. You know, some of the girls say they are coming, they won't miss it, you know, this, that, and the other. And then we have Marlo. Okay, Marlo says, her text message says, she just now seeing this message. Okay, so Candy was just like, oh, girl, whatever. So she calls her, and she was just like, it's so funny that you called me. I was just reading your text. So you and your friend are having a little event?
Well, I don't know how it became me and Kenya's event, but yes, we are having a kickball thing.
And I was like, well, that's why it's your event, because you and Kenya are having it. What are you talking about? And Marlo said, you know, even though she didn't know anything about it, she wouldn't miss it for the world. Of course she's going to come and support Candy's event. So when Candy gets off the phone with her, we see Candy FaceTime Kenya. Hey, beautiful. What's going on? So how did it go with the girls? Okay, I guess she left Candy in charge of inviting everybody.
Well, Nene said she didn't want to come because she found out it was your event.
Okay, Kenya was like, good. Was hoping the bitch didn't come anyway.
She said that you only came to her event for 7 minutes and then you left.
So fine. Nene's not coming. I'm completely fine with that. We see Nene, and she's at home with Greg. And she's just telling him about the party that she had. You know, the leopard lunch that she had. She said it was just weird. Of course it was weird, because you had all these bitches there that didn't nobody know. Has nothing to do with nothing. That was your, whatever you were trying to achieve, you did not achieve it. So now all of a sudden it was weird for you. Portia did come, okay, and actually she stayed. Kenya came, but she left after 7 minutes. And Greg says, well, speaking of Kenya, you know, I've been talking back and forth with Mark recently, and he invited me to this Black Man's Lab, okay, this event that Mark is having. And Greg would like to go. Well, Nene says, well, Greg, I don't know if that's a good idea, because me and Kenya are not in a good place. You know, they don't really get along. So she's not really sure if she should be coming to something that Mark is hosting giving when, you know, her and Kenya are where they're at. But she likes to keep saying that she has extended the olive branch. I said, well, Nene, I don't know if you've extended any olive branches towards Kenya. Have I missed it, you guys? Because I'm human and I may have forgotten. But I don't know if I'd say that she's been extending any type of openings Kenya's way. Well, Greg likes him. and Greg wants to go to the event. Well, Nene says, there is a bowling night that they're supposed to be going to, couples night. Can you believe that? They're trying to have a couples night, knowing good and well we invented couples night. I said, oh, so it's never been a thing. You guys are the first couple to say, let's have a couples night. Nene, cut it out, y'all. So, but it's just funny because Nene cannot get off of this 7 minutes that Kenya was there. And I am really starting to have a little eyebrow raised about Nene's lunch last week, because I need to be clear on the time of this luncheon. If Kenya got there at 3-ish, Candy and them got there about 2:30. Nene supposedly didn't get there till 4:30. What the fuck time was everybody's call time to be there? Like, is Bravo really kind of pulling something here? Or was Nene indeed late? Because the way that Nene came in and she was just so blase. I know that ain't no word. We love that word, blase. Hey, and she keeps on making a big deal about Kenya being late. Well, not late, but staying only 7 minutes. I'm just like, but you didn't get there until an hour and a half after she left. So something is fishy here, and I expect it to be taken care of at the reunion. I need some clarification on this time. Let's jump over to the kickball event. So everybody's getting there. Cynthia says she needs to blow off some steam after she had her words with #chill. Portia comes in. Are we playing dodgeball? Are we playing kickball? Okay. Oh, it's supposed to be kickball. Eva shows up with her friend Barbie. That's going to be in her place. Eva looking just as healthy. Talking about Jackie said that she could come. She just couldn't participate. Well, that's a given. Is the shit bed rest or not is what I'm trying to say. Cut it out, Eva. So anyway, Eva gets there. Then the rest of the girls are there, Candy and Shamia and all them. Okay, so we find out that this is a version of kick/dodgeball. Okay, basically they roll the ball to you, you kick it, and then the person either catches it. If they catch it, you're out, like regular kickball. But if they pick up the ball, they can actually throw the ball at you and not necessarily to the other person over on the base to tag you. Okay, so it's a variation of it. But Kenya's concerned because she was just like, some people might be a target. I mean, at least child. So Portia was just like, so have we picked the teams yet? Okay, I have a phobia too of team picking because I used to be the weakest one. I have really no sportsman type of abilities, although I could wear the hell out of a tetherball, y'all. I could fuck a tetherball up. Oh, I be on that pole, bitch. I be jumping and shit. I be hitting it. Don't get in a good rhythm too. Let me stop shaking my camera. They pick their teams. It's gonna be Candy team, the Hurricanes, and then of course Team Twirl. Kenya has right when they're about to start picking, Marlo shows up. Marlo shows up with a friend of hers as well. So they picked a team. Candy has did I write it down? Who's on her team? Cynthia, Shamia, and Portia. Okay, and then Kenya picks Mal, Barbie, Marlo, and then there's somebody else on her team. I don't even know who it was. Okay, but we get started with the game. You guys know that Candy is super, super duper competitive. She likes to win everything, and usually she does pretty well, but not this time. So I was laughing at the fact that her team was getting slaughtered. Kenya's team, I was like, maybe it's because Kenya's team all were tall and had long legs and could run fast and get around them bases quickly. But I laughed because she picked Marlo on her team because she knew Marlo was going to be the main one trying to hit her with that damn ball. So she had Marlo on her team. But they all did well, and the girls had a good time. There was no arguments. There was no fighting. There was no shade. There may have been some shade. But, it was all in fun. And afterwards, yeah, Candy's team lost 10-3. I was like, I know that hurt her heart a little bit, you guys. So afterwards, Candy was just like, we need to be able to get together more like this. Okay, Kenya was just like, yeah, team hug for everybody that we was able to do this. And they got a special announcement for everybody. Okay, maybe we ought to do something, a getaway, as if they don't do it every year. Okay, here's a novel idea. Let's go somewhere. Eva was like, wait a minute, when is it gonna be? And she was just like, oh, just in a couple of weeks. Okay, well, Eva can't go. All right. Well, Kenya has a trip suggestion. We are all going to Santorini, Greece. That's one of my, I really want to go there, you guys. It's just so beautiful to me. I just want to go. My friend just went recently. She said it was hot as fuck. She said by the time you walk up them stairs that be looking so pretty, you be looking like you about to pass the fuck out. So, but anyway, sorry, not Santorini. That's where I want to go. They're going to Athens, Greece. Well, wait a minute. Everybody isn't here. Nene's not there. And Candy says,
I plan on sending a text message to everybody. I'm going to invite her.
Okay, all right. Well, Nene's coming too, which is good, because if Kenya was in charge of this whole thing, then we know Nene would be out. Actually, she wouldn't be. Bravo wouldn't dare not let Kenya invite Nene on a big trip like that. But we'll just play along. So then afterwards, we see Cynthia again. She's on the phone with #chill. He's back in LA, and she's, here, and she's just feeling kind of bummed because of the way that he left. He says, well, don't worry about it, baby. I got somebody that I believe is going to be good as a therapist for us. So she's happy. The therapist actually is here. All right. And so she says, okay, well, good. Next time you come, then maybe we can go see the therapist. And he says, yeah, actually, I'll be there for the Black Man's Lab thing that I'm hosting. Remember, #chill is the host that Mark has asked him to be. So, we'll go then. And Cynthia says, great. She's looking forward to it. She sees what the counseling, Dr. Sherry has done for Portia and Dennis. So she feels hopeful. I'll say, girl, do not compare your situation with Dennis and Portia. At least I would hope that it ain't the same. Dennis and Portia got a whole bunch of shit going on with them. So maybe that's not the best example, but we see what you're saying. And #chill before he gets off the phone. He's like, don't worry about it, baby. We're going to be together forever. I love doing his voice. Now, jumping over to Kenya, we see Kenya and Mark. They are at the swimming lessons for the baby. And, Mark is going to be the one that gets in the pool with the baby, and Kenya's on the sidelines watching. And it's just so funny because it never fails. Whenever Mark and Kenya are together, they just have no natural chemistry to me. Okay, they just don't seem to even really like each other like that. So it's just weird to have them, because it's just always tense. It don't even be shit going on that would make it be tense, but it just feels tense all the time, So after the baby has her lesson, they start talking about this couples night, and everybody that's coming. And he was like, yeah, I haven't really met everybody. And she was just like, yeah, you haven't. Eva's coming. And I guess at the time they thought that her husband was coming. He hadn't met Dennis, Portia's man, and she was like, he's from Detroit. Of course, he knows Todd and Candy. He likes them. Remember, that's your 6 a.m. hangout partner. And he was just like, oh, yeah. You just keep on wanting to bring up Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or whatever he said. So, he tells her that he had been talking to Greg and that he wanted Nene and Greg to come. And she said that because her and Nene are not in a good place, she would prefer that Nene didn't come. But he was sort of like, listen, you guys will be fine. This is about the couples night, everybody hanging out, having a good time. I can totally relate to the way Mark thinks, because I think the same way. I don't be having the patience for that bullshit. When it be a whole bunch of drama going on, and some of Mrs. friends might be involved. I don't even want to be around it. How about I just stay out of all of that to begin with? Nobody got time, grown ass people acting like this. So, but I also can understand Kenya. He seems to just really just dismiss her feelings 100%, even if you don't agree. When you know that it bothers your wife so much, she was like, if I have a problem, then he should have a problem as well. But he doesn't really see it that way. And that's probably because he knows that his wife can come with the bullshit. Okay, he knows firsthand. So he kind of gives everybody else a benefit of the doubt. You gotta be supportive of your spouse we can discuss it differently at home, but you know, when you out in public, you know, you would hope that you guys would be on the same page. So I think he just believes that Kenya has been in some fights that have been justified by the other person, even though Nene did treat her horribly last season when she came to the party. And so Nene was 100% at fault for that. She called her all kind of horrible names. She was pregnant. Kenya hadn't done anything to her. So that's what that was. Now let's get to this bowling event, because the bowling event also made me laugh. Kenya and Mark show up first, hand in hand. Okay, seem to look like they were having a good day so far. Get in there, get their bowling shoes, they sit down, they getting ready for everybody else to get there. She's all like, you know, this is sort of like a date night. You know, the nanny has the baby, you know, we can go home and have like sexy time. And he was just like, oh, is that what you calling this, sexy time? Okay, fucking is what Mark wanted to say. She was like, this is a PG TV show, even though y'all say dicks all the time, okay? But this is PG, we gonna keep it PG, you know? And then we get a little peek into their romance department, and comes to find out, looks like the reason why they ain't having sex is because, let Kenya tell it, he's like a Neanderthal, and all he want to do is jump up and down on top of her, and ain't no sensuality to it. And let him tell it, all she do is complain that it hurts, and she don't want to do this, and stop doing that, and don't touch that, and you going too far. So I was like, maybe it's a little bit more to this situation here than Mark just not necessarily wanting to have sex with her. Maybe she's a prude. Maybe his ass is too rough. One of those things might be going on. I thought that was a very interesting little peek into their lives. But anyway, Portia and Dennis, the superintendent, they get there, you know, and Mark was like, why you need to tell me how to deal with these Detroit women. Even though Dennis is with an Atlanta woman, at least today he is. Then we have Eva and Cynthia get there. Now, this is supposed to be a couples event, remember? But Eva is there without Mike. And Cynthia, of course, is there without #Chill. So they're each other's couple, I guess. Candy and Todd get there. And you guys know Candy is still salty from losing the last event.
Todd and I are very competitive, and I am ready to win, especially with this group. I want to win.
Okay, Eva come up talking about she want to play. Girl, you on bed rest, remember? They got a bed at the bowling alley. But whatever. We about to get this party started, and Portia was just like, wait a minute, hold on. Everybody not here. We can't get started. Where's Marlo? Where's Nene? Where's Tanya? Kenya said, oh, they weren't invited. And Portia was just like, huh? What you mean they wasn't invited? You know, Mark hasn't even met everybody. Well, they gonna meet at the black man's lab, but you know, this was supposed to be a couples event for everybody to get to know each other now. Okay, somebody said that Tanya said that she wasn't coming if Paul couldn't come. And Mark was like, what? She said that? I didn't say that. I didn't say she said. Why would she say that? Okay, talking about Kenya. Kenya sitting over there just sort of like, well, I thought it was going to be a couples event. But it was funny because the producers asked Portia, would Dennis throw you under the bus like that? And she said, oh, no, honey. Dennis, you got to understand, Dennis is gang. Okay? So if I have a problem with the bitch, then we both have a problem with the bitch. Okay? He gonna do whatever I say. You know, he just sat over there like, yep. Dennis is just trying to get through the day so he can get to his other woman. Shit. So Kenya's still trying to act like, you know, the signals got crossed. She thought it was a couples event, yada, yada, yada. So if Paul couldn't come, then, you know, maybe that's why she thought that Tanya didn't need to come. But Mark was like, no, I made it very clear. I said to invite everybody. So the girls are all getting a good little insight. See, all of them haven't been around Mark. So now they're starting to see exactly how Mark is running shit around there. I don't know how long it'll last, because when you have two alpha personalities together, you know, one person can kowtow every now and again, but eventually that shit will get old and Kenya will get tired of that. But at this event here, Kenya is kind of standing down. So Mark brings up that he had been talking to Greg through text, you know, and that he had invited him. And then Cynthia said, well, Nene said she wasn't coming. I believe it was Cynthia anyway. Said she wasn't coming because she wasn't tagged in the invite. And Kenya was just like, oh, good. Oh, but that's not good for Mark. And it's because Mark is determined to let everybody in there know that he does not feel the same way as his wife. Now, he knows his wife is looked at as the villain. Whether she is or isn't is to be determined. But he knows that she's looked at that way. So he is trying to distance himself from that part of Kenya. It's not really the best look, but the shit was still kind of funny while it was going on. Because Mark was just like, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. I am not with it. The bad thing about it is there are still ways that you can kind of separate yourself, your image from your wife's image so that people don't think of you the same way. Because Nene has done it for years. Nene has bona fide haters out there. People cannot stand Nene and they still really like Greg. So there's ways that you can still maneuver yourself in this whole thing. Mark just obviously does not know how to do it. Okay, so Mark is just like, hey, I ain't with it. That's her. This me. We see Candy and Portia. They kind of off to the side. They kind of just laughing at the fact that, you know, Kenya doesn't really have much say so when Mark is around. Actually, it's Portia, Eva, Cynthia, and Candy talking about it. Kiki and whatnot. So Kenya comes over and she's just like, what are you guys over here talking about? They were like, you. And Portia was just like,
you know, Kenya, it's just too bad that you and Tanya had an unfortunate situation.
And Kenya was just like, So it was unfortunate. Yes, it was unfortunate. You called my friend a fucking cunt. I would think that that's motherfucking unfortunate. And Kenya was just like, Portia, this is not your fight. Okay, get out of it. And was I the only one that was getting that feeling like, oh Lord, now you guys, we done worked hard for you guys to get y'all friendship back on track. And you know, you guys about to start. It's like when you used to see your friends that used to fight, a couple that would fight all the time. And then supposedly they got it together and they was happy. But then we was all out and started drinking. And then you wasn't sure if them two was going to start fighting again. You be like real scared on pins and needles. That's the same way I was with Portia and Kenya. I was like, you know, because she was just like,
first of all, put your finger down.
Okay, before I break that shit off of your hand. And I was just like, oh, don't get into it, you guys. But the commercial came, and when they came back, everybody was happy again. We was sitting there playing bowling, and they had broken up that little side, you know, women's talk over there. So I was like, okay, we back on track. We back on track. Once the game was over and they're just sitting down and talking, that's when Mark invites everybody to the Black Man Lab, you know, just explains to them what it's going to be, you know, what it's all about, you know, how he would love to have everybody's participation, tells Dennis to come, you know, Todd, you know, Candy, everybody. He's been talking to Greg, you know, back and forth, so Greg is going to be coming, and Candy was just like,
well, Kenya, I think that you should, considering Mark is talking to Greg, you should invite her.
And Kenya was just like, I think that Mark can reach out. But the whole thing is that supposedly you guys are a team. You guys are a we. We are one. Okay, so if it's his event, it's your event. So you should be inviting her. You know, we start talking about Kenya having a problem not tagging people. And, you know, she was just like, I thought it was a couples event. And Portia was just like,
Kenya, now we just agreed that we was going to let the petty stuff go.
And Mark was just like, yeah, first of all, Ken, we gonna let the petty stuff be aside. And basically, this is my shit. We ain't fixing to have y'all catty, bitchy shit going on. Leave that shit alone, Ken. Okay? And so she was just sort of looking like, like I'm not gonna make no scene here. Portia was just like,
they gonna have a talk about it when they get home. I could tell.
I started cracking up. Child, and on top of that, all of a sudden, here come Nene and Greg. Let me tell you, I laughed out loud. I was just like, that shit is funny as fuck. Because Kenya was looking like, oh my God. And then when Nene came in there and started doing her dance, that shit had me cracking up. I was just like, child, you is molded. Greg and Nene are there. And Mark made it very clear. When Greg walked up to him, Greg was like, you know, because Greg always got to have a production too. You know, I can't come to nothing that my wife is not invited to. And Mark was just like, don't even worry about that. Your wife is invited. Okay. Well, she didn't get included on the invite. He said that's fine. He said, but she's definitely coming because this is bigger than us. You know, this is about the Black Man's Lab, right, baby? Right, Ken? Okay, and Ken was just like, you know, exactly. And that damn Kenya was so mad. You could tell she was seething underneath. But her man was like, fuck, I said what the fuck I said around here. Y'all can keep all this bullshit going on. Okay, but what I do know is I'm having this Black Man's Lab. It is my event, and I said that everybody could come, so everybody can come. Give a fuck that my wife got a problem with Nene. That's personal between y'all. Y'all handle that on your time. This is my time. Nene's, you know, she does try to put some salt in the wound. Because Kenya was just like, I'm going to be cordial, but I'm not going to be fake. You know, Nene goes up to,
I just want to let you know, Kenya, that I don't have any ill feelings. I don't have anything.
I said, you a lie. Okay, you a lie, and you ain't even no reason for you to be this fake and phony up in here. I guess you just doing it to get on Kenya's nerve, and Kenya was just like, another time. We won't even talk about it right now. I'm trying to stay the dutiful wife, and I can't be up here arguing with your black ass right now. Okay, but oh, she wanted to. I was cracking up. That whole bowling event, that shit had me laughing because all of the wives was just like, oh. So Kenya has the mouth. Ken stays quiet. Anyway, you guys, let me run in here and get me something to eat. The Kobe tribute is going to be happening soon. I am still trying to decide if I'm up to watching it. I thought I was going to, and then I got to work today, and I was just like, I don't think I can do it. Like, I don't know if I can do this. So, get my food and take it on back, and then we'll see. All right, but you guys, make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.